do it if you want. Okay. All right. Welcome to the Village of Cottage Grove Tourism Commission meeting on Wednesday, virtually on Zoom with the link at the top of the agenda and in person at Village Hall. It's also live streamed on our YouTube channel, so you can watch that now or at a later time. It's 9 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum with one person attending online, and the agenda was properly posted. So we'll move on to number 3, public appearances, a public's opportunity to speak. We have no one at Village Hall, but is there anyone on Zoom from the public? No? All right, we're gonna move on to number 4, discuss and consider the minutes from the March 19th, 2025 meeting. Those meeting minutes are linked as a PDF in the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3/19/2025 minutes.
Okay. I'll second. So the motion by Brittany, second by Cindy. Any discussion on the meeting minutes? All those in favor? Aye. And Jen, I see you're online. We'll just make sure that you can unmute.
Yep, sorry. Aye.
Okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get the settings so everyone can participate. All right. So all those were in favor, so motion passes. We will move on to number 5, discuss and consider election of officers. So we have election for chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary.
I'll nominate Cindy for chairperson. I'll nominate myself for vice chairperson. Who's secretary?
Jen?
Jen as secretary.
Since there's 3 of us here.
Since there's 3 of us here.
All right. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion on the election of officers for tourism? Otherwise, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, motion carries. So we'll move on to the bread and butter of the meeting. Update from Britt Leach, who's the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, discussing the use of tourism funds.
All right, good morning. I am Britt Leach. I'm the Executive Director of the Cottage Grove Chamber of Commerce and also the Director of Cottage Grove Tourism. Just want to start off by saying thank you to the Village of Cottage Grove for your partnership, your transparency, abiding by the state statute, and also working a positive working relationship between us and you all. It's much appreciated. I think I've shared before in the past, not every municipality is as easy to work with throughout the state of Wisconsin, so just wanted to say thank you. Fun fact reported from Destination Madison recently, 2025 tourism impact numbers are in, and oh my gosh, the hospitality industry is thriving like never before. In 2025, Madison and Dane County saw its direct visitor spending reach $1.6 billion, which is a record. That works out to be $4.5 million a day spent by visitors in Dane County. We also have the highest number of hospitality workers since 2019 at 19,532. The Board of Directors for the Chamber approved a 2026 budget in January of this year. We are sitting financially strong. I'm going to go back to 2025 and then I'll touch a little bit on 26 since we're already into July, if that's okay. So in 2025, we submitted or approved 8 grants to local events in Cottage Grove that ranged between $500 and $2,000. Some of those were the Cottage Grove Car Classic, Car Show at 1855, Sprout and Full Harvest Festival at Warm Belly Farm, Hot to Trot Race, Cottage Grove Fireman's Festival, Downdrans Bloody Mary Festival, Cottage Grove Holiday Craft Fair, and I believe there was a couple more after that. With those grants, we created a toolkit for vendors to use since there are specific ways that the funds can be used according to the state statute. So what we did is we created a toolkit for vendors to use local chamber members for their advertising and print needs. They're welcome, of course, to use any advertising contact they'd like, but it worked out nicely this way because these vendors happen to know how to work with tourism dollars, and typically the event person doesn't usually have a marketing department because it's usually a nonprofit running an event. And so some of those were Inkworks out of Stoughton, locally owned and operated, iHeartMedia, APG of Southern Wisconsin, and Honeybee Media. So once the grant is approved, then I send them emails, contacts to those businesses, and then they work directly with each other with their budget that was approved. And then after the event, then the event host or the media partner will invoice tourism, and then we reimburse them the funds. So they don't get the funds directly up front. We hired a professional local photographer here in Cottage Grove to take photos last year, so we finished those projects. We wanted to hit all the different, I was gonna say holidays, all the different seasons in Wisconsin. Unfortunately, as you all know, we didn't get a lot of snow last year, or maybe it was the year before. It was the year before. So we didn't have a lot of photos of snow, but we always have this coming up winter. Fall of 2025, we partnered with Discover Wisconsin and produced a 7-minute video that highlighted area attractions, local recreation, and restaurants called Small Town, Big Heart. As of now, 9 months later, it has 36,000 views and is still growing. This spring, we took some of that B-roll that we didn't use with the footage, and we created 2 different smaller videos, one called Summer in Cottage Grove, a perfect day trip, which now has 29,000 views and is across social media platforms. That was our spring video, and then we had 2 more social media videos with that same B-roll. So one was called There's More to Discover, and then the second one that hasn't been released yet is called Small Town, Big Life. We own those, and so, of course, we're able to share them and promote them and share them with you all as well. If you want to put it on your social media channels, I think you have already. This fall, we're going to produce, so we're done with that B-roll. So this fall, we're going to start fresh, and we're going to produce another, it's called a short form reel that will be published across Discover Wisconsin's social media platforms. One story posted on Discover Wisconsin's Facebook and Instagram platforms, and then we'll share it to ours because we will also own them as well. They will come out to Cottage Grove. It's an influencer package, so we'll have a host, and they'll come out and they will bop around to 2 or 3 different locations. And if you're familiar with influencers, it's like, come with me for a day of a life in Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. And then they will pop around to different places and show what we have to offer. We also partnered, are going to partner and signed an agreement with Honeybee Media to do geo-tracking, geo-target visitors, and social media ads through Meta. So, for example, if you're downtown Madison on the square at Farmers Market and you get your phone out to hop online real quick, all of a sudden you'll see an ad maybe for Visit Sun Prairie, and that's strange. Well, it's not. It's bought. So we're going to be doing that as well. So we're going to target different areas throughout Wisconsin. I'm really excited to work with them. We haven't worked with them yet, and the reason I'm excited is because most of their work is done with tourism. So they know what they're doing, we have funds to do it, and it's just a great partnership. They're also a Chamber of Commerce member, which is an added bonus. We'll also do targeted email through them, so 30,000 emails, and then also display with retargeting. And I believe that's like on top where it's like visit or travel Cottage Grove or visit Cottage Grove. Things on our horizon, we're hoping to work with the Sun Prairie Ice Arena. Jen Peterson with the hotel in Cottage Grove mentioned that a lot of her business during the winter is from hockey tournaments on Highway End and towards Sun Prairie. So we're hoping to purchase a banner ad with them inside the arena. Hoping to partner with Amazon when they're fully up and running to hopefully maybe do some type of corporate sponsorships with them. Jen has been more than willing to send a personal corporate link to be able to book directly through that link versus going on the website or Expedia. We will continue to work with the Rugby Clubhouse. They've been a great partnership. They bring a lot of visitors into Cottage Grove throughout the year. Hoping and praying that the sports complex will come to Cottage Grove. So I doubt the developer's on right now, but we would love to have you. It would be wonderful. That will really benefit not just the hotel, but just the community in general. It'll help with our restaurants. It'll help just be a huge economic drive if that project came to fruition. And then we will continue to work with local wedding vendors. So Cottage Grove doesn't do a ton of weddings, but they do enough that they come visit the hotel. In 2025, we also invited Andrew Nussbaum, who is the Tourism Development Specialist with Travel Wisconsin, back to a chamber meeting to talk about hospitality and how to welcome tourists and visitors into our community, how our local businesses play a huge role in the economic impact to the village. So think when you travel and you stop at a gas station or a restaurant, how you're treated. Not just the product, but the service and how you felt when you left. So he really educated our group about just welcoming and you know, you never know where visitors are coming from, and of course you want them to come back. So we'll invite him back again. He's a great presenter. We will continue to promote the proximity of Comfort Suites Hotel that is conveniently located right off I-90-94. It is the only hotel directly off the Interstate 94 and Highway 30 between Dane County Airport and Johnson Creek, so that's quite a bit of mileage between the two. We will continue to use Meta to boost our promotion, our videos, and continue to promote our local events on our website and our social media. Events in Cottage Grove, event throwers, businesses can promote their events for free. All they have to do is hop on travelcottagegrove.com and submit a request to post their event. And then last but not least, if you don't follow or like Travel Cottage Grove, Wisconsin on Facebook, please do. And then I'll leave it open for questions, because most of you know I can keep talking. So.
Well, it's great. Any questions for Britt? Is there anything that we can do with those videos or other initiatives that you'd like to work on to kind of get the word out and get more like local participation in tourism, I guess?
Yeah, our Facebook page, it's new, it's not that old, so it definitely could use more followers. That would be great. And then the Facebook page, you know, drives everyone to the website, which is good. The videos, I mean, if there's one you see that you want me to, well, you can just take it. I mean, you really can. I mean, it's on YouTube, or it's on our social media pages. Go ahead and take it, share it. I can give you the actual file if you want, but you're welcome to have those. Use them to promote the village, send them to potential developers, any way you see fit. I mean, they're for all of us. It's not just for our entity, because we are all one, so.
Yeah, and I don't know, Erin, if you ever use those videos in developer conversations, but maybe that's something we could add to the portfolio.
But there's a link in our marketing packet.
Okay.
And then the only other suggestion is to keep in mind, I think you already know all this, but that we do have a grant program out there. The first couple of years, we capped the amount to $1,000. We decided this year to approve more than $1,000. Advertising is expensive, marketing is expensive, and when you're a nonprofit and you're hosting an event, you can use all the money that you can get. So we did increase it. We just didn't cap it. So you can apply for more funds. Doesn't necessarily mean you'll get it approved by the committee, but at least it's an option to not cap it at $1,000. So that was an improvement this year too, and I believe the application's on the Village of Cottage Grove's website, and it's on ours too.
Does Travel Cottage Grove have a newsletter that highlights the events, or?
No.
'Cause, I mean, I know
No,
that
I
the
don't-
chamber has
the
the
chamber
chamber
has a news-
connections and the newsletter, and then you have your monthly meetings. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, as this continues to
Yeah.
kind of build, if a newsletter becomes, because it seems like you also have a lot of viewers and subscribers, and to
Right.
the Discover Wisconsin. I'm wondering if there's a way to like.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really
like
good
that.
idea. Yes, to do a newsletter. And the newsletter, so we did have a blog writer, a professional blog writer, and she did a phenomenal job. And unfortunately, she got a new job, so she doesn't do blog writing anymore. But the newsletter is a great idea. I'd like to do the newsletter, but then target it to not obviously Cottage Grove people, but target it to, the state of Wisconsin or Northern Illinois or,
Because you had mentioned there was like 30,000 emails that the video was going to go out to or
Yeah.
something. Like, is there a way to
Yeah.
get those 30,000 emails for a?
you betcha. I'm just kidding. I'm sure there is. And
Right.
that's a great question. I'll bring that feedback back to Honeybee Media because that's what they do.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing is what we want to do is drive them to the website. The travelcottagegrove.com has every restaurant in Cottage Grove listed, not just, it's not, separate from Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Every restaurant is listed in Cottage Grove is listed on that website. The gas stations are listed, the hotel, the VRBOs, the amenities, attractions, the parks, so everything. So we want to get them to that website. And we hired, the developer who did the website does give me a report every single month, so I can see how many clicks it's getting, how many hits it's getting, where it's going. So that's also a helpful tool. And that, I think I'll probably use a lot of that data with Honeybee when we do the newsletter or the email. But, yeah.
So Cottage Grove's opportunity for a billboard kind of has gone away. But is there, you see when you drive around, billboards for tourism in other areas or the state of Wisconsin. But is there opportunities for us to advertise Travel Cottage Grove in that type of media space?
Yeah, yep. Just obviously not here, but
No, I know. Well, it wouldn't make sense to do it here. But I could see, like,
No.
if we were driving, like,
Yeah.
south of the Dells, if
Yeah.
you saw,
yep.
like, Travel Cottage Grove.
Yeah,
I
but you
don't
can buy media space with that, with the funds, for sure. Absolutely. I know, it just depends on, where do you go and where do you put it? And we've had to do a lot of brainstorming sessions on what makes us look attractive. Why would people come here? And so I think our videos really highlight what a wonderful and amazing community we do have. I mean, selfishly, I live here, so of course I love it. But to the outside visitor, why would they come here? Why would they stay overnight? And so that's always been a topic of discussion, and we're always circulating back to that. And one of the biggest highlights is that it shares a border with Madison, and that's so hopefully we get some overflow from anytime hotels, and Jen can speak more of this to me, but anytime hotels are full, I know she'll get some overflow. And then also, again, going back to the proximity of the hotel where it's at. It's pretty amazing that, and not just the hotel Comfort Suites, but the hotel that we have here on the record is beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't look similar to other Comfort Suites that you've seen or stayed at. And it's affordable. So right off of the interstate is to me a destination in itself. Like, regardless if they come into the village and spend money or do the parks or the restaurants, whatever, the proximity off of the interstate, especially like I mentioned, that there is no other hotel from Dane County to Johnson Creek, which I don't have it's about that long on Google Maps.
Well, it's at least a 25-minute drive.
Yes, I should have had that written down. I mean, of course, there's hotels on East Wash. Of course, there's hotels if you get into Monona or go further out to Sun Prairie. But if you get off on a plane and you hop on 30 to 94 to go to Milwaukee, or vice versa, I mean, we're pretty lucky with the interchange of 9094 going Dells, Chicago, Milwaukee, and then the airport. And so, so when we work with Honeybee Media, we're going to talk a lot about business travel too, and because Chris is his name. Chris and I talked, and it sounds like, and Jen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the hotel seems to do pretty well on weekends with weddings and tournaments and things like that. It's the Monday through Friday that we need to focus on with business travel, and figure out who else is coming to Cottage Grove and why. Which hopefully down the road with Amazon opening in 27, we'll be able to connect with them, and I'm assuming that they're gonna have execs coming in and out needing a place to stay. And then with the restaurants right next door to it and the gas stations and the location, it's a no,
Yeah.
it would be a no-brainer to stay there. So, yeah, I know, it's a whole world.
So fun.
It is.
Any other comments for Britt? Thank you. But then we have, next on the agenda is the summary of the 2025 room tax collection and review of the 2025 annual room tax reports, which is linked in the agenda. Is that me?
I thought it was gonna be Cameron, but he's at a conference, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
I guess I just open it up if there's any questions on the room tax report. So I think just in summary, so room tax collected in 2025 was 147,423. That is at an 8% room tax imposed as of the December 31st, 2025. This was a topic of conversation last year, and we chose not to adjust the room tax rates. And then the document just kind of outlines the Tourism Commission members, some of the promotion and development expenditures, which Britt highlighted in her reports to us at in the last agenda item. And if there are any other questions, I think our finance director, Cameron, would be happy to answer any questions or go over the report in more detail if that's warranted. But open it up for comments or questions on this item. Britt, go ahead.
Cameron has been phenomenal to work with. That's all.
I think we get that quite a bit.
I'm
Yes.
sure you do. I am beyond grateful for his work and how thorough he is and on top of it, and just really appreciate the partnership again that we have with not only the village, but just working with a finance director that knows what he's doing.
Mhm.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, future agenda items. And this commission meets annually, unless otherwise warranted.
Right.
So otherwise we'll see you in a year, unless anything else comes up. Otherwise, we can move to number 9. I'll second. Brittany
Motion to
motions.
adjourn.
Yeah. I'll second. All those in favor, non-debatable. Aye.
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 We're adjourned. Thank you.